What happens when loyalty is tested not by fame, fortune, or family ties, but by the turbulent storm of love, heartbreak, and parenthood? In the world of celebrity friendships, few bonds are as unshakable as that of Khloé Kardashian and Malika. But when Malika found herself facing baby daddy issues with rapper Genasis, it wasn't just a private struggle, it became an emotional roller coaster witnessed by millions. Through it all, one thing stood strong: Khloé Kardashian's unwavering support for her best friend. This is not just a story about motherhood or fame. It's about the raw human struggle behind the headlines, and how friendship can be the lifeline in times of crisis. The cameras might catch the glamour, but behind the lights, the reality is far more complicated. Malika, widely known for her appearances on Keeping Up with the Kardashians and her long-standing sister-like relationship with Khloé Kardashian, found herself in an emotionally charged situation as she prepared to raise her child, while navigating a complicated relationship with Genasis. The two had been on and off for years, their chemistry undeniable, but their differences just as unyielding. When Malika announced she was pregnant, the public quickly turned their eyes to the man behind the headlines: rapper Genasis. Khloé Kardashian knew what was coming. She had lived through her own heartbreaks, public betrayals, broken trust, and difficult co-parenting struggles. It was exactly why she became Malika's anchor. The phrase "Khloé Kardashian supports Malika" became more than just a headline. It became a reality lived out in quiet moments, in hospital visits, in phone calls during sleepless nights, and in heartfelt advice offered when the cameras weren't rolling. The story begins in early 2020. When Malika revealed to the world that she was expecting her first child, there was excitement, yes, but also tension. The whispers began. Is Genasis ready to step up? Are they still together? What role will he play in the baby's life? These questions didn't just come from the public, they came from Malika herself, privately confiding in her best friend. Khloé Kardashian, always the protector, leaned in with words of encouragement. No matter what happens with you're not alone. I'll be here. Documentary-style narration often peels away the glitter of fame to reveal the cracks beneath, and this moment was no exception. The cameras caught Malika's baby shower, a glamorous celebration organized in true Kardashian fashion. But what they didn't capture was the quiet conversation afterward. Malika confided in Khloé about her worries about raising a son in a fractured family dynamic, about whether Genasis could truly rise to the responsibility of fatherhood. Khloé, drawing from her own experiences with Tristan Thompson, reassured her, "You'll figure it out, and if he doesn't step up, we will." That "we" was important. It wasn't just Malika against the world. It was Malika with Khloé by her side. When baby Ace was born in March 2020, joy filled the room. But behind the joy lingered uncertainty. Genasis was present. Yes, but the bond between him and Malika was strained. The two weren't together, and their on-again off-again relationship was more off than on. Still, Malika wanted to give her son a chance at knowing his father, no matter how complicated things became. Khloé, once again, stepped into the role of confidant. She knew how important it was for a child to have love, even if the parents weren't together. She encouraged Malika to focus on co-parenting, rather than forcing a relationship that had already run its course. This is where the story deepens into its rawest layer. Baby daddy issues are rarely just about the adults. They're about the child who will grow up navigating that space. For Malika, it meant balancing her independence with Genasis' presence. For Khloé Kardashian, it meant guiding her best friend through the painful terrain she had already walked herself. The two women often spent hours talking about it, reflecting on how to balance forgiveness with boundaries. Khloé reminded Malika that co-parenting didn't mean surrendering self-respect. As the years unfolded, fans could see the visible signs of Khloé Kardashian's support for Malika. Whether on social media, during interviews, or in personal appearances, the bond was unshakable. In moments when Malika felt overwhelmed by public scrutiny, critics questioning her choices, gossip blogs dissecting every detail, Khloé stood as her shield. She would often redirect the narrative, reminding the world that Malika was more than just Genasis' baby mama. She was a strong, independent woman and a devoted mother. But behind every strong front lies vulnerability. The arguments between Malika and Genasis often spilled into public view, from Instagram posts to interviews. At times, it seemed like the rapper was fully committed to being present in his son's life. And at other times, it seemed like his lifestyle clashed with fatherhood. Malika, torn between gratitude and frustration, leaned on Khloé more than ever. Khloé's voice became the calm in the chaos, reminding her that the path wouldn't always be smooth, but it was still worth walking. The documentary lens often captures the pivotal moments that define a story. One such moment came when Malika admitted on camera that she and OT were no longer together, that she was choosing to focus solely on her child. It was raw. It was painful. Yet, standing beside her was Khloé Kardashian, offering not pity, but strength. She knew that choosing to walk away from a complicated relationship didn't mean giving up, it meant choosing peace, stability, and self-worth. As the months passed, a new rhythm emerged. Malika embraced single motherhood, and OT Genasis continued to maintain a relationship with his son. While not perfect, it was workable. The public continued to speculate, but Malika and Khloé paid little attention. For them, the focus was on family, the chosen family that had always been there, even when romance faltered. And so, the phrase Khloé Kardashian supports Malika amid baby daddy issues with OT Genasis isn't just a headline, it's a story of resilience, of friendship, and of sisterhood. It's a reminder that behind the glossy veneer of Hollywood and reality, TV lies something profoundly human, the struggle to balance love, loyalty, and parenthood. As the camera pans out, we see Khloé and Malika sitting together, laughter breaking through the tension of their shared stories. The world may watch from the outside, but what they don't always see is the power of friendship that carries them through. For Malika, baby daddy issues with OT Genasis may have tested her strength, but with Khloé Kardashian as unwavering support, she never faced it alone. This is more than a tale of celebrity drama. It is a portrait of modern motherhood, of the trials of co-parenting, and of the kind of friendship that doesn't falter when life gets messy. Through it all, one truth stands clear in the Kardashian circle. Loyalty is more than a word. It's a way of life, and in the end, while the world debated Malika's choices and OT Genasis' commitment, Khloé's actions spoke louder than any headline. She didn't just support Malika, she lifted her, reminding her, and all of us, that even in the hardest of times, true friendship never lets go.